one of the council members came to a meeting and said, what do we know about honor flights? And we knew nothing. So we started looking into the National Honor Flights, and we built a partnership over the last 18 months. And that partnership has raised over $200,000. We have had 5 flights to Washington and Northern Virginia, taking World War II veterans and their guardians to see the nation's capital. And, of course, the World War II Memorial was a highlight, along with other memorials. And now we've added some Smithsonian buildings. In the flights coming up this fall, we hope to have 3 Smithsonians and 10 memorials that the World War II veterans will see in a 3-day trip, staying 2 nights at the Baltimore Hilton to include a banquet in their honor. And these are minimal things that we can do. We've been blessed to see Bob Dole on every trip, and Jerry Moran has made a commitment to see every trip from Kansas also. So this makes it a special opportunity for these veterans and their families to go to Washington and have closure. As you look at these slides of this last trip, you'll see a lot of people getting an opportunity to see things they've never seen before. Almost 80% of our veterans have never been to Washington and never seen, of course, the World War II Memorial, which was just dedicated 5 years ago. The process is very ongoing in that we try to make a trip as relaxing and enduring as we can. In the past, a lot of honor flight hubs have been able to ferry the World War II veterans in for 1 day only. And they basically have to run up to the World War II Memorial. They get a couple of hours in D.C., and then they have to be on a return flight. In all, they're gone 28 to 30 hours and awake, and very, very difficult for these veterans to deal with this, since that most of them are between 85 and 95 years old. Honor flights by Central Prairie RC&D we've decided to try to make the best red carpet treatment we can, and they get to see all of these wonderful things, and we do try to pace them out so that they at least have a chance to catch a breath in between each of the events and not make them quite as taxing. The important thing to note here is the immediate response that we need for honor flights. Nationwide, we're losing 1,200 to 1,500 of these World War II veterans daily. In Kansas, we've been trying to be the center hub for the Kansas honor flights, and we've noticed at least 3 or 4 a week are coming off our rolls. They're getting this great generation is passing beyond, and many of them are not getting the opportunity to see the World War II Memorial. We can call it a red carpet treatment, where they get to go and actually get real time on the ground and see the memorials and not be running through everything and coming back late at night to airports. So the Honor Flight Committee has worked very tirelessly to get the best itinerary possible. The first day they're on the ground, they'll see several major memorials. They'll also get to see Iwo Jima and Arlington, and maybe even get to lay the wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier that first evening before their banquet. The next day they get up, and instead of having to charge out of the hotel first thing in the morning, they relax and let the rush hour traffic hit Washington. Then they hit the World War II Memorial mid-morning, and then go through a day in Washington just seeing the memorials and the Smithsonian's there in town. At that, they will go at dusk back to the World War II Memorial and have a vigil service and a wreath ceremony of their own at the World War II Memorial in honor of those other Kansans and their friends and their units that were not able to make the trip or died during World War II. In this way, we can honor them that could not travel as much as we're trying to honor the ones that could. After dark, the lights come on at the memorial. It's a very solemn time for these veterans. They get to return to their hotel for a good night's rest, and the next morning grab breakfast and head back home. Home to them 65 years ago. Many of these veterans returned from the war, took off their uniforms and went straight back to the farms and factories, and never blinked an eye about what they had done for their country. But now, in the aftermath of the greatest war this world has ever seen, these veterans need to be honored, because if they had not stood up, we would not be speaking English in a country with so many great freedoms. Think about these World War II veterans, the Korean-era veterans and the Vietnam-era veterans that kept this country safe for all of us to enjoy now. The greatest country on the earth, the greatest military structure on the earth, handed down and given to us, fought for and paid for as a platform to freedom by these great heroes. Let us honor them. The mission of the Honor Flight Committee is to get World War II veterans Korean era veterans and Vietnam era veterans in their turn to Washington as soon as possible. The difficulty is we need donations. We need the veterans' applications. Right now we have over 1,000 in our database. To fly the World War II veterans, we need to have their signed applications, and then the Guardians need to also support this. If Guardians want to go with them, they can make a $500 donation and go with an earmarked veteran they want to go with, or they can make the donation and go with any group. We encourage everyone to sustain this group, this activity, because the honor flights is a mission that we have to try to complete before they leave this earth. For that reason and that reason only, we put this as an immediate concern for our communities to think about this generation and what we owe them in closure for all of the effort that they and their generation have given us. Please consider contributing to the Honor Flight program, and if you'd like to go, contact our office, 620-792-6224. We are here to help serve these veterans and the honor they've given us and the freedoms that this country has. Please help us. One last thing. We've tried to make this recording and make it enjoyable for you to watch, but as you enjoy the rest of these pictures, we hope that they string something to your heart, because this means so much to these veterans. Please enjoy the rest of these slides and try to be part of our Honor Flight program. Try to find a way you can help to better serve and to better honor these veterans and the things that they and their comrades have given us. Thank you, and have a blessed day.